Hey guys, Bump here, bringing you another Unholy Mythic guide for Vault of the Incarnates. Today we're taking a look at my Broodkeeper Diana kill from yesterday. We just managed to get it down. I got rank 2 Unholy DK, and I think that was also rank 3 boss damage out of everyone who's ever killed this boss. So Unholy on this fight is incredibly good at dealing high boss damage. And that's pretty useful, right? Because you want to kill the boss ASAP. Unfortunately for me though, we killed this boss at 920. And that really is just before you're able to do your, I think it's the 4th burst window. So unfortunately, like if we kill it 30 seconds later, I would do a bit more DPS. But it was a bit of a botch kill, so it was good that we killed it anyway. Alright, so the build I'm using here is somewhat new. So this is like the disease raid build, and it actually turns out to be better for quite a lot of people. So you see it up here, right? This deals like, I think it seems for 2k DPS higher than me for pure single target. The thing is, if you run the Claw and Shadows version, which is kind of like the normal one, that deals more damage at 2 and 3 targets, and disease is then better at 4, 5 and so on. I think it fits this fight quite well. Obviously we want that higher single target, and furthermore, like when you're in phase 2, you get some ads you want to kill, and the disease build will most likely do more damage to them to be able to dot them up and so on. Anyway, we're going to jump into it. I'm going to talk you through my rotation, my CD usage, my defensive usage, and my general kind of approach to this fight. I am getting PI here every 3 minutes, which you probably should be getting as an Unholy DK because you gain a lot from it. Opener is classical Army, Blight, double Fester into DT and Gargle with Potion, double Deathcall, Apoc, Deathcall, another Assault, and then quite quickly one Skirt Strike to get your Plague Rune going. I use my AMZ here at the start. When we get the raid damage, this helps me to boost up my initial Gargle, get a couple more Deathcalls out. And we'll see, I'm not sure how good this one did. All right, so 1.8, there we go, almost 2 million. So that was a successful Gargle. Sometimes your Gargle stutters too much in open, you kind of, it gets ruined. Anyway, so what I'm thinking here is, if you're on the boss, there's not that much to focus on, right? Obviously you dodge these lightnings, you use your cooldowns appropriately. But other than that, I am continuously thinking about using my Blight, DT and Apoc as much as possible, right? As I said, this fight is 9:30, and if you're really good at it and you press your cooldowns ASAP, you will get that final army gargle use. I don't get it here, so I do mess up, but it is really tricky. This essentially means that you need to plan for every Apoc, Blight and DT window. It's essentially Apoc and DT that matters. So you can see, for instance, here I have 15 seconds left for my Apocalypse. What I want to do is make sure I have 4 wounds ready so I can press that Apocalypse as soon as possible. Alright, so I'm now at 4, which means I can use all my cooldowns. Here we go, Blight, DT, Apoc, and I lose very little uptime there, right? Other than that, what's going through my head is managing my Festamite windows. It's something that you can have a bit of a minigame with when doing a boss which is so much, just sitting and doing single target. For instance, you can see my Festamite window is about to run out. I want to delay the next one for a couple of seconds, which I didn't do there. I wasn't paying attention. I think I was paying attention to the raid mechanics. Anyway, you want to delay every second one so that the next one just aligns nicely with Apocalypse. Now for cooldown usage, AMZ, I like to use it Adam Pool and then at 3 minutes to buff my army. Essentially every 3 minutes you will use it when the rod goes out, then there's big raid damage. Other than that, when he does his frost shield, what's it called again? We'll see it come up, but there's a thing you want to immune with anti-magic shell every 4 to 5 seconds. I have a, I think it's a weak aura that reads off the timing. You see Shroud here. Shroud should be AMS'd every time. You will dodge, you won't get the healing absorb, right? And you won't get rooted, which is very important in phase 2. And it comes out perfectly with the timings, so just use it for every single Shroud. That's the plan. Now, you see I'm coming up to my second gargle window. I'm going to prepare, so I have 4 runes ready. I'm going to press army a little bit early. That's a bit late, man. Anyway, here we go. And then we go Arbiter, Deathcall, Apocalypse, Deathcall, and all assault macro. Make sure I have my Blight up as well. 1 Scourge Strike to keep on a Playbringer, and then we're just blasting. You see I use AMZ here to soak up some extra damage. And then I'm just spamming away. I've got Shroud up, so I'm going to use AMS here. Just spamming Death Calls. Alright. We can see that. I'm not paying attention there, but essentially I should have delayed my first map window there for a couple of seconds, but who cares? I'm just going to delay the next one. And you see I got a 1.4 million gargle, which is that's definitely okay for this kind of like middle of the fight gargle. Opener gargle can go up to 2 million, but this gargle won't. You can see there, I don't use Scourge Strike because I want to make sure that my Apocalypse is what starts the next Festival window. Alright, we've got a Shroud coming up. We use AMS for this one. There we go. Also previously, so whenever there's big ray damage, I try to use a defensive. So you can see I've already used my Spec and Hardened Bones, so Lichborn is a bit of CD, and I use my IBF appropriately. This is fine in the first phase. I feel like in the second phase, you need to save your cooldowns for when you get targeted by the lightning. We now have ads coming up. I'm going to just quickly run away, dot those up to start dealing big damage. They need to die ASAP. So very important to make sure you deal a lot of damage to them. All right, they come back in. What we're going to do now is we're going to dot them up. Shroud's coming up, so I'm going to use AMS, pop down Deafening K, and then deal some nice AoE damage here by spamming Scourge Strike. Great. A couple of other points with the wildfire here in final phase. The idea for melee is to start off by standing close to the boss, move out after it spawns, spawn another one outside. When that spawns, you move back in again. I don't think I played this ideally because I couldn't really find a good spot in melee. So I start on this fight side and I go to the other. Ideally, you should play it more consistently. So you should always stand in the same spot, which makes it easier for everyone else. Got the laser, run out. Dealer use a cooldown here? No, I didn't need to. Okay. Got Shroud, so we can AMS that. There we go. No problem at all. We're thinking about next cooldown window, which comes up in 20 seconds. You can see I've managed to delay DT a little bit. So you can see Gargle comes at 14. DT is like 3 seconds after. So I missed out on 3 seconds when it came to refreshing CDs. Anyway, soon we're going to use army. Ideally when we run out there, I think. Let's go army, there we go. And then we're going to have Gargle coming down. DT, and then we'll go Death Call. Alright, popping all our cooldowns. We're going to start using Soul Reaper soon, but now it's just pop down our AMZ. Funnel that Garg, also help people survive the Shroud. Try and dodge as much as possible here, but sometimes like it's really difficult. Anyway, this Gargle was very successful, 1.8 million. Some lucky crits there. You can see I had 7 out of 24 being crits, so that's really unusual. Lucky me. Alright, you can see I've kind of swapped spot to the other side of the boss, which I think is a mistake when I look back at it. Also at this fight point, I am not paying as much attention to my cooldowns and much more attention to dodging and using defenses appropriately. AMS coming down, great, we use that. Alright, we have Grief Torch, we're going to use that as soon as possible here, hopefully. There we go. Grief Torch is such a good trinket, right, because it refreshes so often. Right, we start, go in, run out, do the dance. We've got laser. I'm going to use my Lichborn there, as you saw. Right, dodge that. I think you start. The safest is obviously to just wait until it finishes, but if you have lots of space, you can do the little circle around to get a bit more boss up time. Alright, we've got the next CD window here. I'm going to use that as soon as possible. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised there. So, okay, obviously we have a CD winner now in 1:15, and the boss is going to die almost exactly on that point. I think looking back, it was quite hectic, but I should have used my CDs much quicker there towards the end. Right, I'm gonna dodge here again. I have Grief Torch already if someone died. There we go, I'm gonna use that hopefully soon. Got a laser, gonna run out. No defenses here, I'm gonna use my health stone. Almost managed to kill someone there, but luckily I did not, so that's good. Right, next set of cooldowns, gonna use those. Okay, AMS to dodge the shroud. Good. Alright, people are just dying left and right now, so we're kind of like in survival mode. We have Gargle coming up in 25, we got another Grief Torch. That's why Grief Torch is so good, right? For these kind of kills, it's just so valuable. Alright, so I have my IBF ready, which is good. Great to have like a defensive we can use if I get targeted by something. So you can see I have some bad dot uptime here. We've got Lace on me. Rest one of the priests that died, and I use IBF to stay alive. Come in, Death Strike, and then the boss is just about to die. You can see I could have used Arbiter a bit earlier there, because now I don't get any uptime on it at all. Yeah, boss is dead. Happy us. Quite the hectic fight. It's tricky, as I said. It's very important, as talked about, to use the cooldowns as they come up. If I would have done that better, I would have had a couple of seconds of Arbiter there, but I didn't at all, which is not ideal. But in the same way, it was our first kill and it was quite hectic. You know, as talked about, first phase, they use your cooldowns appropriately to mitigate the incoming damage. In the phase 2, you should use them if you get targeted with the laser, so that you don't die there, because that's very important. And then use AMS for each soak. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about this video. Was it useful? Are you going to try out this special disease build? That is actually useful for a couple bosses in raid, so if you play Unholy and Ras, for instance, you would use the disease build. I'm pretty sure about that. Upvote, downvote, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.